Hello everyone! I hope you are all doing well. My name is Mara, and for this week's segment of Mara's Corner, I am going to bring you a pretty fun and exciting video. So I know that a lot of you may be looking for some really good and reliable, well-paying online remote job opportunities. Have you ever considered becoming an online English teacher? Stick with me. Now, there are a lot of different companies out there right now that are very popular in the online English teaching field, such as VIP Kid, GoGo Kid, Palfish, Cambly, iTutor, you name it. There are a lot of opportunities, and some of the benefits of teaching English online include the fact that the pay is actually pretty good. You can make anywhere on average between $16 an hour as the minimum to about $25 an hour, and that's usually the average. Sometimes it's a little less and sometimes it's a little bit more, but you're on average going to make about $20 an hour, which is pretty good pay to me. Very flexible scheduling, and yeah, so typically a lot of times if you have a schedule and you like the idea of making your own hours, this is definitely going to be a field for you to look into. And also it's remote, so what that means is that you can either teach from the comfort of your own home or abroad, so that's really up to you. And also, one of the most important things I want to just mention about the benefits of teaching English online is that it is meaningful work. For me, I am not going to do any kind of job, even if it is on a part-time basis like I'm doing, if the work is not meaningful. I have a background in working with youth, including teaching youth, so it's something that I personally love to do. I love to just instill knowledge upon various minds, especially young minds, and to make a difference in other people's lives. So to me, that is one of the most rewarding benefits of this profession. Now, before any of you go ahead and turn off this video and start applying to a bunch of different companies to teach online, let's take a brief pause, because I want to spend the next few minutes just sharing 7 different things to consider before teaching English online. So let's begin. Okay, so one of the first things that you are going to want to keep in mind is that the majority of companies are going to require that you have, at the very minimum, a bachelor's degree. Now, sure, there are some companies such as Cambly and even Palfish that don't always require a bachelor's degree, but I would say about 95% of the time, most institutions are going to require that. Now, it is very beneficial to have a bachelor's degree in either English or linguistics or ESOL, but it is not necessary. For example, I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and a master's degree in urban and regional planning. Neither of those are English language degrees. However, in both of those degrees, I did a lot of writing, and writing is a very important component of the English language vernacular. So just something to keep in mind. The second consideration before teaching English online is to get certified. What the heck do I mean when I say certified? The majority of English companies are going to require that you have some sort of English language teaching certification. So that can look like a TESOL, which is teaching English to students of other languages, TEFL, or CELTA. I have a 120-hour TESOL certification, and I got that from an online accredited institution. A lot of courses, to be honest with you, are very inexpensive. There are some that run about $1,000, but a lot of them are really inexpensive. So if you're actually looking for a certification to get that is accredited and accepted by all companies, and that is very reasonably priced, and that's not going to take long, I will go ahead and post a link in the comments below. And my certification I got within 2 weeks. So just depending on your time schedule and where you are in your life, you can either get the certification within 2 weeks or less, or just a little bit more, just kind of depending on what you've got going on in life, but definitely something to consider. Now, the third thing to consider is this. An Ethernet connection. Yes, there are some online English language companies that you can teach using an app, such as Palfish. However, the majority are going to require that you either teach from a desktop or a laptop. And on top of that, having a Wi-Fi connection is not enough. Trust me, I've actually had my internet down, which canceled a class. That was no fun. Because of that inconvenience, this little tool over here, this hardwired Ethernet connection, is vital. I'm telling you, it is so vital. And to be honest with you, getting an Ethernet cord, you can get at most retail shops, including Amazon, and they don't cost that much. They're very inexpensive. I got mine for under $10, and it is a 7-foot Ethernet cord. You just connect it to your modem and then connect it to your laptop or your PC. So definitely consider that. Another thing to consider is once you do begin teaching online is to keep it simple. And what I mean is to keep your English speaking simple. If you are a native English speaker or you have fluency and proficiency in advanced English language speaking, oftentimes we're gonna speak very fast and we're gonna use a lot of filler words or complex words. If you are someone that is learning English for the first time, no matter how old or young you are, you're going to want to hear English with simple vocabulary and at a slower pace. And I will show you a video clip below of what I mean. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Now, another thing to consider when teaching English online is, of course, you are going to speak using your mouth and your actual language and your vocals. However, another thing to consider is the use of what we call TPR and Props. I will explain. So TPR is short for total physical response. And what essentially that is body language that you will use throughout the course to explain either a word or a concept. For example, eating or jumping or running. I will show you a clip on what that would look like to use both total physical response, which is supported body language, and props, both of which are extremely helpful when teaching students of other languages. Short. He is short. Now, another thing to consider is prior to beginning and embarking upon this journey, you will have to have experience teaching. Now, don't let this intimidate you. Yes, definitely you will have to have experience teaching in either formal classroom setting, maybe K-12, or even an institution of higher learning such as a college or a university. Absolutely. But you can also have experience teaching in an after school or community center setting, which is experience that I have. Or maybe you were a youth group or Bible study leader, or were a mentor to children or other adults or college students or interns. If you have any sort of experience where you were either tutoring, mentoring, volunteering with, teaching people, definitely consider that as your experience, but something definitely to keep in mind. Now, aside from having experience in teaching and all these other things to consider, I'm going to give you number 7, which is last but definitely not least. In order to become successful in the online teaching industry, you are going to have a love for teaching. Yes, I absolutely mean it. Teaching is a calling, and it is definitely something that you have to have a passion for. You're going to often teach students of diverse backgrounds, cultures, and multiple learning styles. You will have to have patience with students as they are either struggling with just learning the different sounds and alphabets and phonics, and you will also have to have flexibility in adapting to different learning styles. Some students may understand concepts in one way, and another group of students may understand concepts in a different way. And you have to be flexible about that. And also you have to, and I mean you absolutely have to, like working with other people and breaking concepts down into easy to use and digest manners and fashions. Now luckily, the majority of online English speaking institutions do have pre-made curriculums and lesson plans, which makes teaching that much easier. However, I would not necessarily say that just relying on these lesson plans is enough. Once again, you have to have flexibility and incorporate your own teaching styles and personality into the lessons and really try to get to know the students. Ask, what is your name? How old are you? Or some rapport generating questions such as, what is your favorite food, color, or movie? Yes, when students see that you are actually interested in learning about who they are beyond the lesson, they are more likely to become more engaged and want to participate more, which will create a more enriching learning experience. And as I said before, there are a plethora of online English learning schools. I happen to teach for 2 of these schools, and one of them is EF, Education First, and the second one is for Q Kids. And for both of these institutions, I teach adorable children from the ages of 4 to 12. So if you are looking for a school and kind of overwhelmed by the total amount of schools out there, consider applying to either of those schools or both. And I will actually have my referral links below. So if you apply to either of those, please let me know. I will go ahead and take a look at that, and I can help to guide you through the application process for both of these institutions, as they are both hiring for more teachers. Anyway, did I skim over any other important points that you should consider before teaching English? Do you have any other questions that I did not answer? Hey, ESOL teachers and current English language teachers, are there any other points you would like to chime in? Please comment below, because I will be making a mini series for teaching English online. Well folks, that's all I have for today. If you like the content I'm providing for you, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. I would really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your time just watching these videos and supporting me as I support you to have a better life in self-employment and financial stability and happiness for yourselves and your families. Anyway folks, have a great week and take care. Bye!